If you are just joining us, the score is 7-0. Spartans over the Rams with a 95-yard bomb being thrown by the West Springfield quarterback right over the secondary of the Rams, and once it got into his hands at about the 50, the receiver was gone. There was absolutely no chance of them catching him. However, with it being a quick drive, it does put the offense right back on the field, and like we were saying earlier in the broadcast, the heat is definitely a factor tonight. It is a very muggy night, and the Rams, obviously, the offense cannot be too happy with that defensive letdown, because that starts them to go back onto the field with little break to get water or rest, and now they got to get right back out there and try to tie this game up. .138 left to go in the first quarter. And another drop kick. That must just be the orthodox way for him, and it appears to be once again out of bounds. That'll be a second consecutive kicking out of bounds for the West Springfield Spartans. I cannot say that I've ever witnessed in playing or covering these games some kicker who his way of doing things is drop kicks. It'll be interesting to watch him trying to take a field goal attempt and see if they do it the same way.
Yes, but as you said, another drop kick going out of bounds, which is something that these Spartans will definitely have to address in the future, because that's just giving up yardage to this offense.
Like Ryan said, good starting field position here for the Rams. Miller under center. Handoff outside to Lowry. Good lane. Lowry, good lead block there. And he is able to pick up about 8 on the play.
And this is the second consecutive solid first down run the Rams have had on their drives. The past 2 drives have both started with a solid first down run. We saw what happened last drive. We'll see if the Rams can keep marching on this one.
Last drive was stopped at the 50 by the Spartans. Rams going to look to try to push a little bit farther down the field as Foncha is given the ball right up the middle, and he pounds the rock for about a gain of close to 10 yards. It'll be a first down for Robinson on the West Springfield 47-yard line. 58 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Rams going to try to get in the red zone before the end of the quarter, and they have to switch sides. Miller under center. Hand off to Lee. And Lee picks up about 3. Will lead to 2nd down and 7 here for the Rams.
Number 27 carry, Lee, gain of 3. 2nd down and 7, Robinson. Tackle made by number 3, Salehi.
Stoppage of time here by the officials. It's a substitution here for the Spartans. Appears to be an equipment malfunction on the helmet. Miller hands it off to Lowry. Lowry gets a hole, cuts up the hole, and is able to pick up about 10 yards once again. And that will be the final play of the quarter. As the clock winds down to 0, your Robinson Rams trail the West Springfield Spartans 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Only score here, 95-yard bomb from the West Springfield Spartans. However, the Rams are trying to drive back and get the score back even at 7-all. Ryan, what did you like and what did you dislike about that first quarter?
What I like thus far is the Rams starting to get that run game going. The past 2 drives, we've seen first downs occur. We've seen it happen, and honestly, I'm liking what the Rams are doing on defense. Obviously, they gave up that 95-yard bomb, but sometimes an opposing offense just does everything right, and that's exactly what the Spartans did on that play. Beautiful throw by the quarterback leading to that touchdown. So I just like to see both sides of the ball keep doing what they're doing. The Rams front 7 keep the penetration up, and the Rams offense keep pounding that ball, getting the first downs.
I completely agree. I mean, the Rams defense did a pretty good job up until that 95-yard bomb there by the Spartans. They had a good job getting to the quarterback. Ye and Israel had a sack earlier in the game against the West Springfield quarterback, and that front seven just has to continue to pressuring that quarterback, not let him get comfortable in the pocket. Otherwise, like I said before the broadcast, he will make the secondary pay. At the start of the second quarter, it'll be third down and 1 here for the Rams. Miller under center, and he's going to hand it off to, I believe that is Lowry. That was Shaun Fancha. As Shaun Fancha puts his hands out and signals to the referees, so I know that Shaun Fancha's never wrong. You have a first down for the Rams. I like the energy of Shaun Fancha this year. He's starting to morph into the more passionate football player that we all love to see, coming out of his shell a little bit. Here's the Dejan Lee with a very tough run, running over every single Spartan that gets in his way. And after about 3 Spartans, he picks up about 9. They might bring out the chains here. They're going to say it's a Robinson first down. Very good run there by Dejan Lee. He's had several of those tonight.
Yeah, Dejan Lee, definitely the most productive back thus far for the Rams here. However, as you said, it's a 3-headed beast, shared backfield. Everyone is contributing, and Shaun Fancha looks to be in the backfield now.
Here's Lowry. Lowry got stuffed at the line of scrimmage, able to fall forward for about a pickup of 2. Second down and 8 here for the Rams, starting to drive closer and closer to the red zone.
And although the Rams are known for their running game, opposing teams know that they enjoy pounding it out on the ground. They still have that level of unpredictability with that 3-headed beast, as you like to call them, in the backfield. There they have 3 solid backs they can hand the ball off to, and all of them can get it done and get yards.
Here's Miller as the play is stopped dead by the referees. Flag on the field. I believe this will be a false start on the Robinson Rams. It will be. I'll back them up about 5. It'll be illegal procedure, pardon me. It'll be second down and about 12 now. Rams breaking huddle, and Miller once again will get under center. Fancha and Lowry are the backs behind him. Lee out to the side. Nice reverse play here by Dejan Lee and the Rams, and a holding call, and flags are being thrown from every direction and every official. Everybody's getting their work in tonight, and they're going to call a holding against Robinson. And I can't tell whether or not that was the sole penalty. I believe so. That will back the Rams up even more. That will make it second down and 23. This is going to be a stinger for the Rams, pushing them farther and farther out of field goal range. Rams still, as they did last year, not trying the pass game too often. Their one attempt this year, I should honestly say, was a screen, which was stopped by the West Springfield defense for no gain, and they have been just pounding the rock since far, and it's been working pretty well for them. However, that looks like they might be going back to a passing formation as they have 3 out wide to the left. And it will be a draw to Shaun Fancha, and Fancha, dragging some Spartans with him, will pick up about 7. third down and 14 here for the Rams. Not the typical running play that you would see, but you never know with the Rams. And here we go. Here's a run. Roman Lowry cutting it up, stopping, and tried to make a cut, and he is stopped for a gain of about 4. That'll make it 4th down and 11 at about the 26-yard line. And they will keep the offense out on the field with 9:20 left to go in the first half. First 4th down attempt for the Rams on the season. And I will definitely say that this is passing territory here. Here's Miller dropping back, looking, hauled it downfield for Lee, and a great play there by the middle linebacker of the Spartans, putting his hand up and deflecting the ball before it reaches Dejan Lee. Lee was open, ball just wasn't able to get there, and it was a good play there by the Spartan defense. Turnover on downs. It'll be the Spartans at their own 27-yard line. Rams try to take a gamble, and it did not pay out for them. We will see whether or not that hurts them later on. However, given that it is still the first half, I don't think that it will have too many consequences going forward.
I think it goes to show the faith they have in this defense here, willing to take the chance on 4th down, knowing that the defense is able to step up for them here.
Last time Rams were on the field as a defensive squad, they gave up a 95-yard bomb to the West Springfield offense. Here's another pass and another completion here. And the ball comes out, and there is no signal. Everybody from the ref or from the Rams is saying that it's them, and everybody's crowding the referee. And the referee finally makes the call and signal that it is Rams ball, and Donnie Warder put on the hit stick there. And after the small button hook route, he got sloppy, and the receiver coughed up the football. Donnie Warder will make you pay, the All-American man himself. Donnie Warder coming up big once again for the Rams.
And let's see if the offense is able to capitalize on that incredible play by Donnie Warner, giving up the pass. However, he goes in, and as you say, led on that truck stick and got the ball out.
This might be the opportunity the Rams have been waiting for. And here's a draw up to Foncha. Foncha pulling as many Spartans as he can. Gain of about 3. And if your shortest gain on the play with your running game is 3 yards, you can't be too upset like you said earlier. I mean, that 3 yards per carry is nothing to be ashamed of. That's a pretty good average right there. And like I said, all of these guys is the 3-headed monster. They're all over 200 pounds. They're all agile. And so if they don't run by you, they will run through you, as Dejan Lee and Shaun Foncha have both shown already tonight. Here's Miller under center. Handoff to Lowry this time. Good lead block there by, I believe, Ariando, and a flag is out on the play. I believe that this will go against the Rams. And it will be a hold against Robinson. Both teams starting to get into a little bit of penalty troubles here in the game.
And when an offense relies on the run game as strongly as these Rams do, holding penalties and any real offensive penalty is something that you can't afford to give up, because that just makes it even more difficult to get that first down on the ground.
Exactly. I mean, it's a very difficult job to get a first down on second down and 17. Even if you have a throwing game, but if you are relying on your running game, it is, like you said, even harder to do. Miller's under center. Hands it off to Jaquez. And Jaquez makes a man miss. And he keeps on bullying through, pardon me. And another flag is on the field. Jack, if you're still watching, I know you remember this. The dirty tissues are flying. And the second consecutive holding penalty against the Rams. This is absolutely killing their offense. Although the play was nullified, good run there by Jaquez Stewart. Along with Reed Scarborough, the two-headed monster of Ryan Good's freshman team last year. Both tearing up the freshman division of for the Rams. So another holding penalty, and this is just a shot in the foot from the Rams offense. They cannot allow this to happen. This is second in about the state of Texas. Here's a hand to Stewart. Stewart makes another man miss, able to keep his feet. Stewart's not afraid of contact, and he pushes a man forward. No flags this time, and Stewart picks up about 15 yards on the play. Stewart did a fantastic job there. Not afraid of contact, like I said. He's a strong, small but very strong runner, rising sophomore.
And a 2nd and 26 doesn't look as bad when you can break off a run like that, Shaun.
Maybe we are good with the running game. Here's Lee. Lee has some running room, runs over a man, and he picks up the first down. So from 2nd and 26 to 1st and 10, following two amazing runs, very physical runs, I'll be at it as well, from Dejon Lee and Jaquez Stewart. The Rams are starting to get out here. Man, this might be even more than a three-headed monster with Jaquez Stewart. We're getting more and more backs coming through. It's four-headed monster now. We're getting more and more backs coming up through this Robinson system that are not afraid to hit, and they can move when they're in the open field. Here's Miller under center, handing off to Stewart. Here goes Stewart again, has a lead block, able to keep his feet, and is pulled down at about the 20-yard line. Half of the West Springfield coaching staff is infuriated by that play and by the losses of, or by the yards given up on the ground by this defense on this drive. Rams definitely starting to get back into last season's form. Here's a draw. Good run there by Shaun Foncha. Rams are able to run it down the defense's throat from the left, the right, and right up the middle. Appears to be no stopping.
At this point, this defense must be getting frustrated because they never know who the ball is going to be handed off to and which direction they're going to run, because as you said, left, right, down the middle, all achievable by this Rams backfield.
And the Rams are starting to give the West Springfield Spartans a little bit of their own medicine as Miller keeps the ball himself and picks up a decent gain on 3rd and short, and that will be another first down for the Rams. Like I said earlier, the Rams are giving the Spartans a little bit of their own medicine by keeping as much of the defense on the field for as long as possible. We already said it's a muggy night. The fog is starting to set in here on this early September evening in Northern Virginia. And they're going to start getting tired, dehydrated out there. And once they start breaking down, the Rams have to try to capitalize. And they are now within striking distance of tying this ball game up. Here's Miller passing it off to Lowry. Lowry makes a man miss. Roman Lowry, like I said, for a boy of his size, he can snap an ankle or two. I can guarantee you that. They've got some moves.
Absolutely, and although it is hot and humid out here tonight, the Rams have so much depth in the backfield that they can continue to run with fresh legs and continue to pound at this, I'm assuming, tired defense at this point.
Well, they sure don't seem to be fresh. Hanging their heads low, hands on their hips. They are not happy to be still out there on the field right now. Here's Miller handing it off to Stewart once again. Stewart cutting it up and is taken down hard at about the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 for the Rams. Rams will try, are definitely within field goal range. However, I believe personally that this is 4th down, 4 down territory here. Other thing that to note about this drive is that it was all started by Donnie Warder's takeaway. That wasn't even a turnover. They took the ball away, and they have been able to hold the ball for a considerably large amount of this quarter. Here's Miller handing it off to Foncha. Foncha stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and he is not going anywhere. That'll bring up 4th and about 4 for the Rams, and offense is staying out there. Like I said, down by 7, 3:12 left to go in the first half. Rams will have to kick it off beginning of the second half. They are going to go for it. Now, they are close enough to run it. They could pass it, but we've seen that it doesn't matter how far you need. They'll run the ball and they'll get it. We saw 2nd and 26 turn into a 1st and 10.
Absolutely. The Rams are very confident with their run game.
That was a timeout there by West Springfield as they start to kind of just mully over to the sideline, out of breath, exhausted, and probably a little bit confused as to how the momentum has switched so drastically in this game over the period of just a few minutes.
Absolutely. Confused as to how they allowed a 2nd and 26 to be converted into a 1st down. However, the Rams really thus far have been capitalizing off of a great defensive play, and drives like this mean even more to the team because the defense feels as if they played a part, giving the Rams offense great starting field position. But this is going to be an integral 4th down here. What are your thoughts on the play call to keep the offense out there?
I agree with it, to be honest with you. They need the 7 points to tie up the game. Vossler, we know, is not a conservative coach, if that's the best way to say it. He's a very smart coach. He knows when to take his shots and knows when the opportunities are available, and he will take advantage of them. And I truly believe that he has devised a play that will give the Rams an opportunity. They just have to make sure that they play to their best of their ability. Here's Miller under center, handing it off to Lee. Lee's got a whole bunch of room. Pylon, touchdown, Robinson. First touchdown on the year for the Robinson Rams is a 4th down conversion in a very clutch situation. You could hear a pin drop over here on the West Springfield side of the field as the Rams luau is starting to get into full Hawaiian form. They are rocking over there in the Rams section.
Absolutely. Dejan Lee getting the student section over there excited. And the Rams coaching staff proving that you have to risk it to get the biscuit. And they just got the biscuit, converting for the 6 and hopefully about to get the 7.
That was amazing. That was an amazing call right there. Risk it to get the biscuit. There we go. Here's Nathan Musso for the pick. He puts it up, and no doubt about it, we got a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. They scored in very different ways. Foncha lit up as he comes back to the field, or to the sideline, pardon me, as is the rest of the squad. 2 very different ways of scoring. One was a one-play drive with a 95-yard bomb. Other way, what for the Rams was a very long drive, forced after a takeaway. And the Rams were able to, like you said, risk it and get the biscuit. God, I love that term.
Yeah, great 4th down conversion there. And you have to think at this point the momentum is in the Rams' hands. Their defense is coming off a takeaway. The offense coming off a long drive. Converted a 2nd and 26. Absolutely killed it on that drive. Pounding the ball, getting the touchdown. And these Spartans, a lot of pressure on this offense here to answer back, and we'll see if they're up to the task or if it'll be more of the same for this Rams defense thus far.
Well, like we noted earlier on before the game, my defensive key to the game for the Rams to get a victory tonight is to pressure the quarterback. If you allow him to have time in the pocket and sit back, we saw what happens if you even mess up once. The Rams defense blinked, and in the time that they blinked, the receiver for the West Springfield Spartans was in the end zone 95 yards later. So they scored in less than 10 seconds. They have 2 minutes and 41 seconds to do it this time. And the Rams definitely need to be able to respect that speed and that up-tempo offense that the West Springfield Spartans hold to offer. Good kick there from Musso, taking out about the 11, pardon me. Although several missed tackles, and then Donnie Warder, vintage All-American Donnie Warder, lighting up the man like he was playing a game of Madden.
First and 10, Spartans.
Rams have 2 minutes and 33 seconds to hold off the West Springfield Spartan offense, and they've got about 80 yards to play with as well. Official timeout on the field, having a word with the West Springfield sideline.
Out on the field. Returned by number
And the Rams obviously want to get a stop here, not only to get the stop, but also keeping in mind that the Spartans did defer at the beginning of this game and will be receiving the kick come the third quarter. So a stop definitely important here to keep the momentum in the Rams' hands.
Stoppage of time was caused by an injured player. Hopefully he is all right and will be able to return to the game later on. But for now, the Rams have, like I said, 80 yards to go and try to prevent this West Springfield's offense from retaking the lead. Quarterback keeper and taken down by James Lalone. And I believe that's Tyler Ariando, number 51. There's a lot of guys like that with Tyler Ariando's stature where they are not the tallest guys on the field, but don't get them upset because they will embarrass you. Rams once again trying to go up the middle. Good quarterback keeper here by the Spartans. Good gain for him, as well as Matt Peffer at safety is able to make the tackle in the open field. Gain of about 16. That'll be a West Springfield first down. And like we said, they picked up almost 30 yards in less than 40 seconds. So the Rams definitely have to try to keep their composure and not allow this team to get in a rhythm. Dropping back, trying to heave one out. Scarborough under coverage. And Scarborough, sadly, was not looking at the ball, and that was the reason that the flag was thrown. He was in perfect coverage. If his head was turned around, there would be no reason for the ref to throw his flag. But since he wasn't playing the ball with his head facing the receiver, the pass interference, flag will almost always be called. So tough break here for the Rams. However, that was a good job by Reed Scarborough, I will say, to keep up with him because they were getting burned earlier on. That's how they scored the 95-yarder, and they're making sure that they get better. They get better on their backpedaling. And in high school football, thankfully, it is not a spot of the foul penalty with pass interference. It is a 15-yard penalty. So the Rams still have a lot of room to play with. Rams need to keep their composure, and the defense needs to try to calm down a little bit, and they only got 100 seconds. They just need 100 seconds, and then they'll go back to the locker room with a tie game. Because like you said, the West Springfield offense will be receiving the second half kickoff, and they do not want to have them get the ball following a scoring drive. Here's a quarterback draw. And a tackle once again by Donnie Warder. That is his third of the game. His first that you could not hear from up here in the box. West Springfield taking their time, not typical of the Spartans. I say taking their time, it's still only about like 10 seconds, maybe 15. Dropping back, pump fakes. Gets nicked a little bit, but is able to stay, and taken out at the legs by number 4, Ryan Durant. Good play there.
Quarterback keeper Musket. Gain of 4. 3rd and 3. West
Third down here for the Spartans, definitely 2-down territory with 43 seconds and counting left to go. Rams just need to pull off one final stop to go into halftime tied at 7-all. Quarterback keeper on the option play, and he is swarmed by, God, I've missed this term, a herd of Rams. And he will be stopped. It is the technical term.
West Springfield timeout.
West Springfield calls timeout as they are stopped just shy of the first down marker. 4th and inches with 26 seconds left to go. West Springfield only has one timeout remaining in the first half, so if they were to get this first down, they would have to try to either get downfield farther, or they would have to try to just go for the safer route, just make sure you get the first down, maybe spike it, clock it a few times, and maybe have a chance for a few passing plays into the end zone. However, we haven't seen how the kicker does place kicking. We saw during the kickoffs he does out of bounds with attempting the drop kick, so I'm not quite sure how comfortable West Springfield is with their place kicker from this range. Bringing out the chains.
And it's going to be a 4th and inches here. And as you said, it's going to be interesting to see what the Spartans go with, if they go for the touchdown here, or if they take the safe route, get the first down, and go for a field goal.
4th in the width of about an anklet at the end of your shoelace. How's that one for you? Back in the gun, trying to get him to jump. Guts down, and he is stuffed. I believe he is short. Rams did not let him even fall forward. Time is not running because they are not sure whether or not it was first down. Very, very close play. They're going to measure.
Official timeout.
We might be getting to the individual threads when it comes to units of measurement here. Oh, yeah. This is going to be very, very close. And they give them the friendly spots. So after moving, like I said, about the width of an anklet on your shoelace, the West Springfield offense has a first down. However, there's only 23 seconds left to go. They do get the break of the stoppage of time. Time is now running once again. Dropping back, going for the fade. Wide open, and he drops the ball. I have no idea how he dropped that ball, but I am never going to complain if it's for the other team because he was wide open. There was not a white jersey within 5 yards anywhere around him. That was definitely a breakdown of coverage that the Rams are going to want to address immediately.
The Rams definitely get a break on that one because, in all honesty, that should have been a touchdown there. Nice throw. Not perfect, however, definitely catchable. Rams get a break. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Back in the gun. He's pressured this time, and he gets him by the shoelaces. It's Izzy Israel. With 7 seconds left to go, West Springfield calls a timeout. It'll be 3rd down and about 12. Yayan Izzy Israel getting to the quarterback, hustling all the way through and not stopping until the whistle. Fantastic job there by Yayan Israel. Getting past the block, missing the first attempt, but still has the effort to go and get him by the shoelaces.
Not rattled at all by that near touchdown. Comes out at the next play and gets the sack. Great determination by this defense. And now it's all up to the Spartans kicker with 6 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
We will see whether or not we have a kick or a pass attempt. Like Ryan said, 6 seconds left to go. Tied 7-all between the Spartans and the Rams. 3rd down and 13. was the fog. And it's about, they got it on about the 36-yard line. They are going to go for it. I say go for it, it's third down, but this will most likely be the last play of the half. In the gun, dropping back. He slings it over to the right. Nobody there, and an interception there by, or they're saying he's out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. Either way, it is not a touchdown. Good job there by the Rams. Fantastic job not being rattled, like you said, by the near touchdown drop, and they're able to stand, have that last final defensive stand, and they are able to hold this game to be a 7-7 tie all going into halftime. Ryan, what are your thoughts on that first half?
I just really love the way the Rams defense has come out. Obviously, that 95-yard touchdown pass put the Spartans up on the board, but other than that, the Rams have really done a nice job of holding these Spartans to short drives. This last drive of the quarter here, the Spartans did manage to get deep into Rams territory, but the Rams were also able to hold them from the touchdown, leaving them with the 7 on the board. So I'm loving the production we're getting from the defensive side, and on offense, the ground game's starting to come together. Got a touchdown on the board, and I think that will not be the last touchdown we see from this Rams halfback group.
Oh, definitely not. A low-scoring affair. It is 7-7 all for both teams. First game of the 2015 campaign for both the Rams and the Spartans. They will both go into the first half of the first game of the season. 7 all. 15 minutes until we join you again for the start of the third. Ladies and gentlemen, stay right here with Ram Network. We are going to sign off, and we will see you coming for the second half.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second half of action. And just to go over some of the notable stats here from the first half, we have Dejan Lee with 9 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown, thus far being the most productive of the Robinson Ram backs. However, Shaun Fansha also contributing 36 yards, Roman Lowry with 29, Stewart 21, and Miller, number 15, with 5 yards. So we have, just from the first half alone, 5 running backs contributing, getting the yards. And we also have just some notable stats here. Robinson, 8 first downs compared to West Springfield's 5. West Springfield obviously had that 1 turnover. Robinson still in the 0 for that column. And third down conversions, the Robinson Rams defense really stepping up in that category. The West Springfield Spartans 0 for 3 compared to the Robinson's offense 4 for 9. So Robinson able to convert on third down, while West Springfield still being held to 0 in that column. And here is sort of the downside of the first half, in my opinion, for the Robinson Rams. And Shaun, I can get your thoughts on it. 6 penalties for 60 yards against the Rams. What are your thoughts there?
Well, given that, if I'm not mistaken, I think there might have been 2 penalties that were for 5 yards, and the rest of them were so we have 4 holding penalties. 2 of them were actually consecutive. And on that drive that the Rams did end up scoring on, and actually no, pardon me, they didn't end up scoring on that drive. It was the following drive. But regardless, yeah, they had ball possession for a large majority of the second quarter. However, that you could have scored 4 or 5 times in the time that they had just to get 1 first down, and it's inexcusable. And I can 110% guarantee you that that was the first thing that Coach Vossler preached to everybody back in the locker room was, it's the first game. You've gotten through the first 24 minutes, the first half. The second half, you got to be informed. You got to be ready. You've been here since most of these guys have been here since last January, or this past January, in the weight room and everything. This is what it all comes to, is the beginning of the season. So you got the jitters out. There's no excuse anymore. You have to play fundamental football, sound football, and you have to be able to get things done and get things done efficiently if you want to stay in this game. Otherwise you're going to have a lapse. Like you said, you're going to have a hiccup, and it could end up costing you.
Absolutely. And just some other notable stats we have here, and I'm sure the Rams defensive coordinators and defense as a whole is really looking at these specific stats. Number 7, the starting quarterback for the West Springfield Musket, he's 2 for 5 throwing, 108 yards in the touchdown. And he's the only guy that he's been throwing to that's caught the ball, 2 receptions, is number 87. So he's the receiver who has the 108 yards receiving, has the touchdown, but he also has the fumble lost. And to me, the most notable stat that we've seen from the West Springfield offense perspective of the first half is the quarterback, again, number 7, 10 carries for 31 yards compared to their running backs, 2 carries for 0 yards. Obviously, the Rams defense is going to focus more on the quarterback here on these draw plays and read options, because thus far he's been the one keeping the ball.
Well, I completely agree. I mean, if you go back, like you said, looking at these stats now, I mean, 10 carries for 31 yards for the quarterback, and then everybody else, it's 2 carries for 0 yards. Those 10 carries for 31 yards, that's pretty good. That's an overall of 31 yards for the entire first half that the Rams have given up rushing wise. And yeah, there's 100 yards passing that you have to deal with. However, you have to remember though that 95 of those 100 yards were on one play, and the other 5 were on the other was on the second play to the same receiver, as you said, number 87, where once he made his first football move, as the officials call it, he coughed up the football when Donnie Warder laid down the hit. When you look at Robinson, though, you see, like you said, a much more diverse and spread out, sharing the wealth, I should say, when it comes to rushing. You got 9 carries Foncha, 9 carries Dejon Lee, 8 carries for Lowry, I mean, Lee, like you said, he's got a touchdown and 70 yards on 9 carries. Foncha and Lowry, both Foncha with 36, Lowry with 29. All of them have respectable rushes, not to mention Alex Miller running for 3 carries and 5 yards. That's not bad for the quarterback. However, it is probably going to end up getting to the point to where the Rams are going to have to be able to capitalize on some passing attempts, because that might be what ends up winning this game, is seeing how the secondary of West Springfield can handle the offense of the Rams. And with that said, the kickoff is gone, the returner is down, and we are starting the second half. 11:54 left in the third quarter, and we will start the first play of the second half with the West Springfield Spartans on their own 26-yard line, 1st and 10. For those of you just joining us, know that it is a 7-7 ball game as the quarterback is taken back and sacked. There's the herd of Rams that we're all used to seeing. A herd of Rams, this time led by Austin Jones and Yayan Israel. James Lalone was in there as well.
Absolutely great play by the Rams defense there, getting the penetration necessary to put pressure on Musket and not allow him to throw a bomb down the field, because that's the only time they've scored thus far.
Here's a pass once again, number 87, and it is dropped, but he got crushed by, I believe that is Ryan Durant. That is the third target, or third time number 87 for the receiver for the Spartans has been targeted. First time was its 95-yard touchdown. Second time was a 5-yard reception that ended up coughing up the ball for a Donnie Warder hit. And the third time is a drop. So I will definitely say that hit has gotten into his head, and he doesn't want to be hit like that again. Dropping back, going in the other direction, throwing off his back foot, and he goes for practically no gain. if you were to say that it was a 1st and 10, he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 10 for the Spartans as the punting unit will come out, and Reed Scarborough will go back to receive for the Rams.
And the Rams coming out absolutely dominant on this first possession here of the second half, really building off the momentum gained on the last stop before the final whistle of the first half here.
Very impressive of Vossler and company, keeping the Rams to where they are in rhythm, and they didn't skip a beat coming out into the second half. Good punt there for the Spartans. Fair catch this time called by Richmond, and the ball will be taken at the 36-yard line of the Robinson Rams, and that is where Ace Miller will come out and try to get a second drive scoring for the Rams.
Now, Shaun, I'm no psychic, but if I were to guess what the first play of the first drive of the second half here is for the Rams, I'm going to go with a run.
Well, you might not want to say this. We do have scouts for the defensive team right above us. We're going to try not to give anything away. However, Ryan is a pretty good guesser. It looked like it was a design run. However, a little miscommunication there in the backfield. Alex Miller running into Shaun Fancha, tried to make the best of it, and is actually able to pick up a yard after the carry. So, after that little speed bump, the Rams will come back on out of the huddle, pardon me. 2nd and 9 on 37-yard line. Miller under center, handing it off to Stewart. Stewart has nowhere to go, and he is taken out by a swarm of Spartans. Spartans took a gamble, guessing it was on the right side, and they had it pay off. Loss of about 3 on the play. 3rd down and 12 for the Robinson Rams. Miller coming back from the sideline to the huddle as the Rams will try to convert on this 3rd down, something that they were not too successful in doing earlier in the first half. Here is Lee. Lee had a lot of room, seemed to be tripped up a little bit, falls just a few yards shy of the 1st down, and it'll be 4th and about 4 or 5. And they will bring the punt unit out, and that was a good run there by Dejon Lee. He's been doing fantastic all game long. That's now 81 yards on 10 carries for Dejon with a touchdown. Sadly, it just wasn't enough to get the 1st down there. Miller once again back to punt. Pretty short punt by Miller. He has a very friendly Ram bounce though, and it will bounce for an additional about 7 or 8 yards to the 23-yard line of the West Springfield Spartans, and that is where they will return back on offense. Ryan, what does this defense have to try to do to make sure that they can get off the field quickly once again?
I mean, I'm just going to say do what they did on the last drive. Get penetration, get to the quarterback, put pressure on him, and as they did to number 87, if the receiver gets it or if the receiver is thrown to, hit him and make him think twice about catching the ball next time.
In the gun. Dropping back to pass, throws it downfield, and it's picked off! Picked off by Robinson! Nick Rodriguez with the interception. What a fantastic job there reading the ball. He came from the other side. He was on the number 1 receiver, and it was thrown to the number 2, and he was able to come inside, cut off the pass, and able to haul it in. Fantastic job. If you can't get to the quarterback, like we said, try to make him uncomfortable and force him into a pass that he doesn't want to make, and that happened just now for the Spartans. Miller under center, handing it off to Lee. Here's Lee. Lee runs into his own man. Hole closed as quickly as it opened there for Dejan Lee, and was able to pick up 2 on the play. Pardon me, hardly any gain. It'll be second down and 10. That is a huge momentum boost here for the Rams following that interception, going to try to capitalize on this opportunity to put more points on the board. Here is Alex Miller under center. Handoff to Fancha. Fancha making a man miss, does not even flinch when getting knocked as hard as he could by the defender. He's able to brush it off and get another 5 yards after the contact. Fantastic job there by big, bad Shaun Fancha.
And that was a great run, and you have to bring it back to the last scoring drive by the Robinson Rams, which was actually, it began off of a defensive takeaway. So let's see if the Rams can do the same thing that they were able to do last time and score for their defense.
Miller under center. It's draw play to Fancha, and he picks up about 1. Actually, where they're marking it, it's about 3. Fancha always seems to be able to get the extra 2 or 3 yards when everybody else gives up after the play. He does not stop until the whistle is blown. Sometimes he doesn't even stop sometimes he didn't even stop after that. He has a motor. Here's Miller, once again under center. Handing it off to Stewart. Stewart has a lane, has to make a man miss. Stewart making another man miss. He's trying to make another man miss. It's Marshawn Lynch, beast mode style. As Stewart picks up about 30 yards. Jaquez Stewart with the carry. Pickup of about 30 on the play.
And Stewart is absolutely emerging as a feature to this Robinson Rams running game alongside the other outstanding backs that are already a part of this program. Stewart doing a great job in this first game of making a name for himself and standing out.
This monster's starting to grow. Another head. That's a draw play. Never mind, it's hand off to Lee. Lee's got 15-5, touchdown. Flag is thrown. They'll call it a touchdown. Flag down on the play. It will most likely be called back. It is a holding against the Rams, and that is now 7 penalties for 70 yards against the Rams today on the game, and that is inexcusable. Something that the Rams are definitely going to have to review going forward.
Yes, at this point, reaching the 7 penalty mark, it's as if the Rams offense is playing against themselves, continuing to push themselves back, making it tougher on them to get the first down.
Momentum still on the Rams' side. Not only on the field, but in the bleachers as well. You can hear the Rams section from over here, and you can hear a pin drop over on the West Springfield side. Rams trying to silence the crowd for good here. Here's Alex Miller with the draw, giving it to Fancha. Fancha picks up probably 3 yards more than any other person would. It'll be second down and about 15 for the Robinson Rams.
Number 77, Brock Vaughn on the stop.
Backfield consists of Lee, Fancha, and Stewart, and Lee will be the one with the name called. Lee tries to make a man miss and isn't able to keep his footing.
Lee on the carry, gain of 4.
If he was able to keep his feet on the ground, he would have been gone. I am being advised from a team source that it is 4 down territory. Third down, about 14 here for the Rams. Play action pass. Here's Miller slinging it over to Richmond. Richmond, ball over the pylon, and it's a touchdown. Who would have thought? The first game of the season, we have a passing touchdown for the Robinson Rams. That might be the most astounding part of that play. Fantastic job there by Alex Miller, slinging the ball. Had everybody on the defense bite on that play action because nobody expects them to throw it, and he threw a beautiful touch pass to Wesley Richmond, and he extended the ball over the pylon for the score. Great job overall by the Rams offense, capitalizing on that interception. Musso here to take the point after. Kick is up and good.
And this is exactly what a defense loves to see in their offense. Defense lays it all on the line, gets the takeaway, and 2 times now the offense has been able to capitalize on a defense's hard work and gets the ball in the end zone. And Alex Miller, we know that he has a great arm, and he just showed the Spartans here that he has a great arm by that nice little touch pass, as you said. And it's almost as if this run game lulls the cornerbacks to sleep. Lulls the secondary to sleep because that's the last thing they're expecting, throw, and the Rams are able to capitalize off of it.
Well, Wesley Richmond, like I said, has about the catch radius of anybody that I've seen in high school football. He can make a snag anywhere, and that was very impressive there by Alex Miller with the placement of that ball over the shoulder, able to get it, and then great job by Wesley Richmond, great awareness to make the turn up the field and put his ball across the pylon. Here's Musso with the kick. Pretty good kick there by Nathan Musso, and it is bobbled by the Spartans, and he was a fair catch anyway. So West Springfield offense back onto the field following the interception last time out by Nick Rodriguez. Nick Rodriguez is another great story, just like Reed Scarborough. Both 2 rising sophomores, both young guys, and they are both now starting under the lights on Friday night in the first game of the 2015 season, and they're both making big plays. In the gun, hands it off, and he is met immediately by Austin Jones. Pick up about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7 on their own 22-yard line. Read option play, will give it off to the back, and James Malone will run him all the way out of bounds. Pardon me, that was Tyler Ariando and Donnie Warder. Who else? Quarterback calling for an audible here. And it's a quarterback draw.
Musket on the quarterback keeper. Pick up the chain. Move the sticks.
Like you said earlier, before the second half started, Ryan, the running game of the West Springfield Spartans has been primarily that of their quarterback, not their running backs.
It's their quarterback continuing to gain yards via the ground, and the Rams are definitely going to have to focus more on him as the game winds slowly down.
And here is a jet sweep, and he is tackled for a loss by Tyler Ariondo.
The Rams able to see that play all the way through, and another great penetration by this linebacker front to get into the backfield there and get the stop for a loss of yards.
Front seven stepping up, like you said, Ryan Keith. Stepping it up big here for the Rams in the second half of this game. Second down, and 12. And the play is blown dead. I do not see any flags on the field.
Flag on the play.
There apparently is one.
Dead ball foul.
It's an encroachment. It's encroachment against the Robinson Rams. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it will now move it to where it is second down in about 7. I wasn't quite sure who committed the foul. Play is once again blown dead as we appear to have an equipment malfunction with Donnie Warder. Donnie has to come out for one play, and they will send on Wesley Richmond in his place. Quarterback keeper here, almost taken down in the backfield by Israel. Runs into his own man, and that might be the deciding factor of whether or not he gets the first down. Because he had the momentum to leap across, or I should say dive across the first down marker. However, he ran into what appeared to be his wideout and was stopped cold. It'll be third down and about 3.
Yain Israel, as you said, very nearly bring that play to a stop with a loss of yards. However, quarterback doing well to get past him, gain the yard.
Here's a pass, able to be snagged in by the West Springfield wideout. And that will be a first down for the Spartans, the first one in a considerable amount of time. Ever since that first big play, which was the first score of the game, the West Springfield Spartans have not been able to get the deep passing game going for them, and they've had to resort to the shorter passing game, which has been going kind of up and down with mixed results for them. Back in the gun. He's got pressure. Israel can't make the tackle, and he's once again finds his man, number 87. And that will pick up about 8 yards, maybe 9 yards, and it'll be second down and 1.
And that was a good catch by number 87, a low thrown ball, in which I would contribute to the Rams front. The D-line putting pressure on Musket there and forcing him to throw that ball low. But they're going to need to be a little quicker if they want to stop this Spartans offense from continuing to march.
Back at the snap. He's got pressure, and he's hits the screen. It's a halfback screen, and Warder is able to save the play from a near certain touchdown for West Springfield. Good job there by Donnie Warder, able to get there and make the open field tackle and possibly the touchdown saving tackle at that. Although it will not matter because for the first time tonight, it appears that the tides have turned in regards of penalties. We usually see the Rams have a big play, which is called back by a holding, and this time it is the Spartans who commit the foul.
The Rams definitely catching a break there. The play coming back, and it's sort of a momentum killer for the Spartans offense.
So that will make the play 2nd and 7. 3 wide to the right for the Spartans. Once again, pressure by Israel. He's able to hit him, and number 11 this time is able to make the catch, and he makes a man miss and is able to go into the end zone, walking in. Number 11 missed the first touchdown opportunity he had this game, which was a sure touchdown pass. This time he did not make the same mistake, and that will be the 2nd touchdown for the Spartans and the 2nd passing touchdown at that as well.
And another deep pass leading to a score for the Spartans here. Seems to be the only way they can get past this Rams defense.
First Spartans touchdown in about 2 full quarters. And they're calling a delay of game because they could not get the kicking block for the PAT out in time.
Delay of game, West Springfield.
Here's the PAT attempt, extended PAT at that. And the block, it was close. One more step and that would have been blocked. But the pick is up and it is good. The score is now tied once again, this time at 14 all, with 57 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter of this ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rams and Spartans are tied once again. They are ready to go. It is a whole new ball game, Ryan Keith. 0-0, that's the mentality.
Absolutely. We'll see if the Rams are able to take advantage of this drive here, kill some clock with their run game. It's an advantage of the run game. You can kill the clock, and let's see if they're able to get into the end zone and answer this last Spartans drive. And here comes the kick unit for the Spartans. I'll be interested to see if he drop kicks it again and whether or not that drop kick manages to stay in bounds.
We shall see. It does appear that he is doing the drop kick. Yep.
Number 24, check the message to tee it up.
This almost looks like an onside kick attempt. I guess not. That was a very good attempt there. And Fancha could not initially find the ball. He is able to fall on it, and that time the drop kick does work. That is one of the benefits of a drop kick, is that since it is not coming in the forward downward motion, it is not going to hit the ground the same way, and with the shape of the football being the way it is, you have no idea how to read where the ball is going to go, and that's what happened to Fancha. And luckily he was able to get on top of it, otherwise that could have been a disaster for the Robinson Rams. So deep in their own territory, at about the same spot that the Spartans were when they scored their first 95-yard touchdown, the Rams will begin this drive. Miller under center. It's a draw play. Download to Fancha, and he picks up about 2, pardon me. Second and 9 here for the Rams. Miller once again under center. Hands it off this time to Lee. Lee's going outside to the right, and he is tackled in the backfield. Stevenson not able to get the block. And that'll be a loss of about 3.
It looks like that'll be the last play of the third quarter as we go into the fourth with the Rams looking at 3rd and long in a tie ball game.
Like you said, that was the last play of the quarter. 14 all the score. Like we said earlier, 0-0 ball game mentality for both teams. And at the end of quarter number 3, we are tied 14. And to be honest, that was a pretty good quarter for both teams. There was ups and downs. Not as much penalty trouble here for the Rams as we saw in the first half. However, they didn't capitalize on all of the opportunities that they were given. And another thing that they had to improve on was time of possession. They absolutely dominated time of possession in the first half, and this time it was in the Spartans' hands for a majority of the time. I did like, however, the takeaway by Nick Rodriguez, because that so far both touchdowns for the Rams this game has been coming off of turnovers from the Spartans. So if that's what it takes in order for the Rams offense to have the momentum to get into the end zone, then this defense definitely needs to make big plays coming into this final quarter.
And as we've seen thus far in this game, the defense is definitely capable of that. Already down for 2 forced turnovers in this game, coming off of an interception and a fumble.
Getting into the fourth quarter, Rams will start it off 3rd down and 10 from their own 7-yard line. Miller hands it off to Stewart. Stewart's got a lane, and that lane closed pretty quickly. He is dropped after about 4. And that will bring out the punting unit, and they will punt from deep in their own territory.
And something that I like about Alex Miller taking over this punt job is that now the Rams have the ability to fake with Alex Miller back there, because as obviously he's the starting quarterback, can throw the ball well. And now with the punter, there's that essence of unpredictability with their punt unit.
Very well said. Here's Miller. Great punt there by Miller. Goes over the returner's head, and he is able to down it. Miller had a beautiful punt there with a net yardage of over 50 yards. Great job there by Miller. And that will push them back into their own territory. That's huge, because after being backed up deep into your own territory, able to prevent them get from the other team, in this case the Spartans, from getting good starting field position on the next drive, that may be crucial going later on in this game, because we'll see whether or not they can capitalize on the momentum starting to shift over to their side. Quarterback in the gun. It's a short pass. He was cornered by Jones and Scarborough, and with nowhere to go, he is dropped, by Reed Scarborough.
Rams defense doing well there, giving up the short pass, however, staying disciplined enough to track him down and get the tackle for a short gain there.
It'll be 2nd down and 9 here for the Spartans at their own 44-yard line. Quarterback in the gun, and he will hand it off this time. Quarterback able to get outside, but those long arms of Austin Jones wouldn't grab anybody. You are not running away from that man if he is within grasp. Or if you are within grasp, pardon me, because he will snag you. And that is what he did there. And once again, the Spartans are forced to 3rd down and trying to convert another 3rd down conversion. Been mixed results thus far. But for both teams, it has been kind of a crapshoot on whether or not you're going to get it the 3rd down. Here's Warder. Warder not able to make the open field tackle, and the back is able to make a few people miss. Has a diving effort for the marker, and he appears to be just short. And I mean just short. And there is a There is a flag, unsportsmanlike conduct.
And you hate to see that here, especially in the fourth quarter tie game. There's just no room for any conduct like that that would lead to an unsportsmanlike.
Whether or not it was because he was taken down while he was going out of bounds, or there might have also been words exchanged on that sideline that we could not hear, I'm not quite sure though. They have not moved the sticks yet. Play has been stopped at 10:13 left to go in the third quarter. Referee's coming out. Going to make the official call. It is unsportsmanlike conduct on the Rams.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. The result of the play is a 15-yard penalty.
And that is a sucker punch to the Rams defense, giving up 15 yards there on a play that might have resulted in a fourth down given the spot where it was, but being a dead ball foul, that was some extracurricular activities that the Rams cannot afford to lose, or to have, I should say, pardon me.
Yeah, the Rams just putting more pressure on themselves here with that unsportsmanlike call as the Spartans move deeper into Rams territory.
Rams trying to bounce back from that penalty. Pressured there by Lalone, and another dime is dropped by the West Springfield quarterback. Musket throws it in and drops it straight into the breadbasket on number 87 for their second touchdown connection on the night. And the West Springfield Spartans retake the lead with 10:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. 20-14, Rams are down. You can't give him that much time, Ryan Keith, otherwise he will make you pay.
Absolutely. With these quick wide receivers out there, you need to get to the quarterback quick because he's smart enough to find the open man, and he's smart enough, and he's talented enough, I should say, to get the pass where it needs to be.
PAT is good, and that will increase the lead to 7, 21-14. Spartans over the Rams. Ladies and gentlemen, your Robinson Rams have been faced with several problems in the penalty department this game, and that might end up being one of the deciding factors in the outcome of this game, with how many times the team has sadly shot itself in the foot, as we saw on that scoring drive for the Spartans. The play just prior to the touchdown ended with a dead ball foul of an unsportsmanlike conduct. Not quite sure exactly what the call consisted of or why it was called, but regardless, it was unneeded. It was unnecessary, and it might have just cost them a 7-point lead, or a tie game, I should say, and given up a 7-point lead.
With 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, though, the Rams have plenty of time to march down and answer back with a touchdown of their own, and now we will see if they will do just that.
Plenty of time here for the Rams. They want to try to keep the ball, obviously, because does not take long for the Spartans to score. And Matt Peffer has the return, and he is staying up. Matt Peffer at the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, and he is taken out at the 32-yard line. Fantastic job there by Matt Peffer. Not the guy in the back meant to get or expected to get the return, but being one of the running backs for second string and being a starting safety, he's got wheels, and he just showed him there on that kickoff. Great job there by Matt Peffer, and we saw once again that drop kick of the Spartans possibly costing them, because it's not going as deep as they would most likely like it to. Here's Miller out to Stewart. Stewart's got room, and he gets tripped up for a gain of about 2. He had space in front of him, but the last remaining hope for the Spartans came to fruition, and they tackled him by the shoelaces. Miller under center. Play action fake. Throws it once again to Richmond, and they're calling it an incomplete pass. Richmond is unhappy with the call. Close play, a little bit of a low throw. However, the referees saw it as an incomplete pass, and that is what it will stay as. 3rd down and 9 here for the Rams. Starting to get into crunch time with 9:09 left to go. It's still a long time, but with every opportunity you're given, you have to take the most of it. And with that return by Matt Peffer, this might be one of the best shots the Rams have for the remainder of the game. Miller once again under center. Handing it off, draw play to Foncha, and Foncha is tripped up at the line of scrimmage and goes for about 1 or 2. It'll be 4th down and 8 for the Rams. And the Rams are going to stay on the field with the offensive unit out of field goal range. Out of field goal range. However, this honestly, we both know that this is possible. That this is the situation where they could go run. We saw them with the 2nd and 26 pick up 16. You never know what the Rams are going to call. They're trying to get everybody into switching. Crowd got really loud, and they're call. I think a timeout was called by the Rams. You asked earlier before the broadcast how the crowd was going to factor into this game. Well, right there we just saw how when you get one side, especially the home side with the Spartans, first time they've really started making any noise in this game. Now that they're back in it, like we said earlier, you could hear a pin drop earlier. They've come back to life, and they're starting to disrupt the communication between the Robinson Rams.
This crowd definitely playing a factor here on this 4th quarter drive for the Rams. And this is an integral 4th down here. The Rams have already tried converting on 2 4th downs, have only managed to go 50% with that, so 1 out of 2. They'll try to make it 2 out of 3 here, and let's see if they can get it done.
Pretty good game for the first game of the season. Westfield sideline trying to hype up this crowd. Alex Miller under center. Play action pass. Miller throws it to Dejan Lee, and he has the 1st down.
And Alex Miller absolutely delivering under pressure. I was having trouble thinking over this crowd over here. The Spartans standing up, getting loud, but Alex Miller delivers a great pass to Dejan Lee, gets the 1st down, and the Rams are still in it.
Pardon me. Sorry, Ryan. Calm, cool, and collected. That's what he was. He was just sitting there in the pocket, and the crowd noise did not faze him. Great job there by Alex Miller, and also good job there by Dejan Lee to make sure that he had the catch. Here is Lee once again, and the ball was down.
Number 57 on the tackle. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8, Robinson.
Dejan Lee with the carry once again. It will be 2nd down and 9 for the Rams on the West Springfield 17-yard line. Miller under center. Handing it off to Foncha. Foncha's got some room. He stays on his feet. He's stumbling. He dives, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shaun Foncha.
And the Rams offense able to capitalize on Matt Pfeffer's tremendous contribution on the kick return, getting them deep into Spartans territory, and Shaun Foncha able to get the job done, diving into the end zone.
Foncha with the touchdown, his first on the season, first of most likely what will be many on this 2015 Rams campaign. And that was for a 17-yard rush into the end zone, and my goodness, he ran all 17 of those yards as hard as he could. Got tackled at about the 15, tackled again at about the 7, definitely tackled at about the 1, and then he just willed himself over the goal line and was able to put in the 7 points, or 6 points, pardon me. To make it 7, here's Musso. And the extra point is blocked, and you can return it. You cannot return it. People are forgetting that people forgot in the NFL this year, they did back up the extra point, and if it is blocked, you can return it for a touchdown, which is 2 points for your team. However, that same rule has not been passed down to high school football, so it will just be a blocked extra point, and the Rams will stay down by 1.
7 minutes left in this game. A lot of pressure now on the Rams defense to get a stop, get the offense back out there, because the offense at this point at least needs a 3 with a field goal to come away with the W.
Well, the Rams got very close to tying up this game, had all the momentum following the thunderous run 17 yards out by Shaun. However, with a little problem with the hold there, and Nathan Musso could not get the ball up in time. Extra point was blocked, and Rams are down 21-20 with 7:08 left to go in this ball game. Rams going to have to try to get the ball back as soon as possible, because they know that the Spartans are just going to try to chew the clock down for as long as they can. Here's Musso with the kickoff. Pretty good kick by Nathan Musso, and it goes over. He takes it, runs back into the end zone, and after going nowhere, he's tackled by Matt Peffer. A flag is down. From where it is, that was a great kick there by Nathan Musso, making up for the miss, or for the block, pardon me, point after. From where it stands right now, it would be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 13-yard line. No official signal from the referees yet. However, they are backing up the Spartans. They're calling it an illegal block in the back on West Springfield, and that will push them back half the distance to the goal. That'll push them back to the 6. And this is another thing, Ryan. They're only down by 1, the Rams are. A safety would put them back in the lead and get them possession. So if Yayan Israel and company can get to the quarterback while he is in the end zone, the Rams are right back in this ball game. And he just takes it himself as he is tackled for no gain. Pardon me, a gain of 1 by Ryan Durant.
And obviously, the West Springfield, coaching staff on the same page as you're talking, worried about that safety, so they just go right with the quarterback sneak there.
Rolling out to his left. Here's Yayan Israel trying to get him, and he's not able to get there in time. Ball's up in the air, and good job there by Peffer and Scarborough to ensure that the ball was not caught. Ball was hanging up there for a while, and there was an opportunity to get the interception. However, the ball just wasn't up there long enough. Yayan Israel was probably 2 inches away from making this a whole different ball game.
Absolutely. Yayan making Musket sweat there, as Musket was almost seen with the sack very close to the end zone, uncomfortably close to the end zone.
Whether or not that would have been called as a safety, I have no idea, but that would have been, like you said, too close for his comfort. Regardless, it is 3rd down and 8 for the Spartans, backed up deep in their own territory. And another quarterback draw. He goes right up the middle, and he is going to get the 1st down and much more. Reed Scarborough able to take him down after a pickup of about 20. New life being injected into the Spartans offense after 2 decent runs by their quarterback, Musket.
And Musket continuing to really show off his versatility able to get it done both on the ground and through the air. He's been the player to watch on this West Springfield team thus far, as you said at the beginning of this live stream.
Well, we have a penalty on the play, or before the play, pardon me. It was a false start on the wideout, number 87, the man who had 2 touchdowns of the 3 tonight for the Spartans. Flinched a little bit before the snap, and that'll back him up 5 yards. 1st and 15 here for the Spartans on their own 23. And Izzy Israel is able to get back there, and that offensive tackle didn't stand a chance. That'll be 2nd down and about 17. 2nd and 17 here for the Spartans. That is now the, I believe, 2nd sack on the night for Yayan Izzy Israel.
If I remember correctly, that sounds about right. 2 sacks for Yayan. And we'll see if this front 7 can get that penetration again and put more pressure on Musket in the waning moments of this 4th quarter.
Here's Musket rolling out to his right, throwing a ball up for a prayer, and luckily, neither the receiver, luckily for Musket, Scarborough couldn't track the ball down, but even more luckily for the Ram, neither could the receiver. So it will be an incomplete pass, forcing 3rd down and 17 on their own 20 here for the Spartans. Crucial play here for the Spartans, and even more crucial for the Rams. Rams have to get this stop with just 4:54 left to go in this ball game. Musket in the shotgun. Everybody's coming, the full house, and the pass is complete. He's going to get a 1st down and a little bit more. And he is excited, number 24, running back of the West Springfield Spartans. That is a 1st down for the Spartans, and that is just crushing for the Rams because they had them so far back in their own territory with a very long 3rd down try, and they were able to get it out.
Yes, this defense unable to make a stop on 3rd down, but they need to look past that, have a short memory, and get it done here.
Musket once again in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Quarterback keeper on the option, able to make the man miss, and then is tripped up. That was a pickup of about 17 on the play. 1st down for that was a good job there by Musket, able to read on the option. What you do on a read option is you watch the defensive end, and if he stays at home, then you hand it off to the running back who goes up the middle. But if he comes towards the running back and tries to crash down low, you keep it yourself, and you got a wide open lane. That's what happened there. He hands it off this time, no option needed, and is tackled near the backfield and picks up about 2. However, a penalty flag is on the ground, and it is a holding against the Spartans. Holding has been the story of the game throughout this matchup, but for both the Spartans and the Rams, both have been just plagued by multiple holding penalties, sometimes even multiple consecutively on drives, and it's really started to hurt both teams. However, this might just end up being a prayer coming to fruition for the Robinson Rams.
Absolutely, the Rams really given the ball being brought very far back.
That's a little bit more than 10 yards. It was a spot of the foul. So, I mean, and the snap is muffed, and he is taken down hard at that, and that will be another sack there for Yayan Israel. So that's now 3 sacks on the night for Yayan Izzy Israel. That one was almost handed to him, though, by the center, I should say, of the Spartans, not able to get the ball to Musket. It is now 2nd down and Mississippi.
At this point, Musket and Yan have to be on first name basis. They've met up so many times during this game.
Musket dropping back, puts it upfield, and somehow the wide receiver makes the catch, pardon me, and he just keeps on going. He caught the ball around Reed Scarborough, and with the immaculate awareness from that receiver, he is able to stroll in the final 20 yards and take it home for a touchdown. That now puts the Rams deficit to 7 points. Ladies and gentlemen, we must remember that we had the blocked point after the follow for the previous touchdown for the Rams. That might end up being the nail in the coffin. We will see, however, with 2:49 left to go in this first game. Still time for the Rams to come back, but it's growing dim. And just inside of the right upright, the point is good. That'll put them up by 8. It is now a 2-point conversion type game. Rams down by 8. 2:49 left to go. They gotta pull something out of their sleeve. They have to have something up their sleeves, and really surprise everybody here in this stadium if they want to come back and have a shot at winning this game.
But as you said, 2-point conversion. The Rams still have a chance here. 2 minutes, 49 seconds left in this game. They just need to get the ball down the field and into the end zone, and once they're there, they need to get in the end zone again on that 2-point conversion. But it's definitely doable. We'll see if they can pull it off, especially if we can get another great return like Matt Peffer provided on the last West Springfield kickoff.
Speaking of which, return men back for the Rams is Chizama, number 17, and number 28, Shaun Fansha. Both guys with ridiculous speed, have more than ample opportunities to take it to the house, and they are threats that they should watch out for. And we have a ball on the tee. First time tonight that the kickoff has not been a drop kick, and it goes about the same distance, maybe a little less, and the ball almost dies where it is, and Zama just falls on it, and that is where the ball will be taken as a flag is down.
Penalty flag on the kick off. Kick covered by number 28. Shaun Fansha.
Not quite sure what the penalty was or who it was on. West Springfield player was fired up following.
Dead ball, personal foul against West Springfield.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against West Springfield. That is huge for the Robinson Rams. This is where it comes to the point to where you have to just keep your cool and just try to keep your cool / composure, and don't let this opportunity get the best of you. You have to make the best of this opportunity. Right now, the backs behind Miller is Jaquez Stewart, Shaun Fansha, and Dejon Lee. Reverse, and Dejon Lee has daylight. He's at the 50, the 40, the 45, and he goes out at about the 42. They'll mark him at the 44, but that is an easy first down. Great play call there by Scott Vossler and the Robinson Rams coaching staff. Close to having it end in near disaster as that pocket was collapsing, and it was collapsing fast, but Jaquez Stewart was able to get that second handoff off to Lee, and he made the most of it, picking up about 25 yards. Here's Miller, handing it off, to Fansha, who picks up about 5. .235 and counting, not counting. The play clock is stopped with the timeout by the Rams. It is still a one-possession game. However, in order for the Rams to tie this one back up, it would need a touchdown with a converted successful two-point conversion. And that is no easy task here, especially when it is in the closing moments of the game.
Absolutely, but the Rams doing well thus far in this drive, pushing deep into Spartan territory, and you have to think that the Spartans defense is starting to sweat a little bit.
Well, we're going to see how it comes down. So far we saw in the last play, it was just a matter of who coached better. And in that play, I will say Scott Vossler picked the better play. However, everybody knows in all sports, at the end of the day, it comes down to typically will and grit. And it's whoever wants it more. And right now, this Robinson Rams needs to have it be a necessity to get this ball into the end zone if they want a shot at staying in this game. Miller under center, handing it off to Lee. Once again, Lee's at the 20, and that is where he will be brought down. That's another reverse there by Lee. And I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because that worked great for him the first time as they go into the no huddle. And now that the clock has restarted at 2:27, handing it off to Foncha. Foncha's got room. Foncha's still rolling. He's at the 5, and he's taken down at about the 3. However, I do believe a flag is down. No, I am mistaken. There's no flag, but there is a West Springfield player that is hurt.
Shaun Foncha, an absolute wrecking ball, running through tackle after tackle to get that big gain there and put the Rams within 4 of the end zone.
Foncha getting the plays done when they need to be done. That was a fantastic job there by Shaun Foncha. West Springfield player comes off under his own power. It'll be first down and goal on the West Springfield 4-yard line. 2:16 left to go in the ball game. 28-20, Rams down by 8. Banging on the door of time, trying to tie this one up. Miller under center. Miller going for the sneak. And he's close. Very, very close. West Springfield's acting as if it was a fumble. They're putting that at literally the smallest increment you could possibly imagine.
And I would not be surprised at all if they just go with the same play there.
Oh, yes.
And absolutely just pound it in with Miller.
Alex just has to fall down and he'll be in the end zone.
Absolutely. And Miller's bulked up a little bit from last season. Looking a little larger on his junior year of high school, so we'll see if he can just pound it in there.
The wind's starting to pick up as Alex Miller pushes it in. He pushes it in, pardon me. And that will be a touchdown that puts the Rams back into this one, 26-28. But they're not done yet, only halfway to tying this one up. Rams still need to convert the 2-point conversion if they want to tie this game.
If you ask me, this is the hard part for this Rams offense here, because they have one chance to get it back in that end zone for the 2 points. And if they can't do it, they're looking at an onside kick. But
even if the Rams do convert on the 2-point conversion, they still have to not let their guard down, because we've seen how quickly this offense of the Spartans can strike. So they cannot, first of all, they have to make the 2-point conversion. Let's make that clear. And second of all, I won't say once, if they make the 2-point conversion, they have to be able to put up a defensive stand against the Spartans, and the Spartans still have a majority of their timeouts. the Rams are completely out. So even if the Rams were to miss this and get the onside kick, they would then be met with the challenge of trying to keep the ball while the clock is running, and there's only 86 seconds left. So this is going to be an interesting game, and nothing has changed in over a year, in just under a year, ladies and gentlemen. It is another Robinson football game that might just come down to one play. As fans on both sides are getting on their feet, Alex Miller is under center. Cheerleaders are along the line. Alex Miller handing it off into the end zone. 2-point conversion. Shaun Foncha.
Shaun Fonch, as I said before, that human wrecking ball. The defense knew what they were going to do. They knew they were going to go with the run, but Shaun Fonch just runs right through them and gets in the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
That one might not have counted for the same as what he told me, but I asked Shaun Foncha when coming on my way to the booth right before the kickoff. I asked him, I said, hey, Shaun, how many touchdowns today? He told me, he said 2. I'm getting in the end zone twice. He wasn't wrong. He got into the end zone twice, and regardless of how many points it ended up putting up on the scoreboard, that was easily the most important points that were put up on the scoreboard all night tonight by either team. That was huge.
Absolutely.
My heart skipped a beat a little bit there, Ryan. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think everyone in the crowds on both sides was a little nervous looking at that play. However, the Ram fans are the ones who have something to cheer about, as that 2-point conversion goes in the books as a success, and it'll be Nathan Musso kicking it off for the Rams.
Nathan Musso, like you said, here to take the kickoff. 1:26 left to go in this ball game. 28-28. The Rams are tied with the Spartans. The kick is up, and it is taken at the 15 by the Spartans. And he's got room to run. And he is dropped at the 45, and the ball is out. The ball is out. The referee on this side of the field is saying that it's still West Springfield ball.
Doreen Robinson on the huge return for West Springfield, number 11. A 30-yard return, a 1st and 10, your West Springfield Spartans.
West Springfield's player is down, though. We can only hope that he is okay. This injury timeout, however, though, Ryan, does offer some benefit to both teams, where they can both have time to calm down after the huge play right there by Foncha on the 2-point conversion, and they also have time to calm down from that return, because that return was very good there by the West Springfield return man, and that puts them in very good field position on their own, on their own 45, still within striking distance. They have 1 minute and 17 seconds to even get within field goal range. Both teams have yet to attempt a field goal in this game, so we have no idea what the range is, where the comfortable range is for the West Springfield kicker, but it might end up getting to the point to where the coach will have to make a decision whether or not to go for it or if he is in range, try to kick a field goal. But like I said, however, last time, before the 2-point conversion, they do have to still stay calm and realize that this game is still hangs in the balance. And yeah, the momentum is slightly on your side, but it's now evening out a little bit with this pause with the pause in action. And however, this defense though needs to make a stop.
Both teams have a lot of time here to think about what they're going to do next. And the West Springfield player is up and walking off the field.
He's going to
Hopefully
walk
all
off.
is well there.
He's going to walk off. That was the return man, too, number 11, who caught the last touchdown pass, or pardon me, 2 touchdown passes ago for the West Springfield Spartans. That might end up being a crucial loss here for the West Springfield Spartans, and we obviously hope that he is okay. We are now back in action as he takes the snap, and he's going to keep it this time. He's going to run, and he's got plenty of room. West Springfield Spartans quarterback is not going to be stopped, and on one play, he runs all the way home to the touchdown. Musket took one play to go over 55 yards. One play, 55 yards, 6 points. And it only took about, it only took about 14 seconds.
Yes, Musket continuing to do it all out there, from passing the ball, throwing bomb passes for touchdowns, to running it in himself. Musket really delivered here in the opener for both teams.
And the PAT is up and good. And with 1:03 left to go, there is a penalty flag on the play. It is a false start against illegal procedure, against West Springfield.
However, this game is far from being over. The Rams were able to make quick work on the last drive, getting in the end zone fairly quickly. We'll see if they are able to pull that off again, as West Springfield here has their second attempt at the field goal after the first was nullified by a false start.
Here is the second attempt of the PAT, and it was close to being blocked, but it nudges in there. It was just that close from being blocked. It is ridiculous how drastic the change of momentum goes in this game. In just the past 2.5 minutes, we have gone from having it be where it was all Robinson momentum with Shaun getting the 2-point conversion that tied the game, and then in 17 seconds, Musket with a quarterback keeper runs 55 yards on one play and brings it all the way home. So we said it last time, before the last possession, that the Rams had to have a defensive stop, and they failed to do so. Now, all of the pressure is being put on Alex Miller and company of the offense. I would not be too surprised if they don't try to kick this as far down the field as possible, but you never know. That is on the tee, not a drop kick attempt. Zama and Fancha back to receive for the Rams, and they are going to offer it, and it's bobbled. It was bobbled by Reed Scarborough, and almost near disaster by Reed Scarborough. Reed Scarborough just saved the game, possibly. Well, easily saved the game, because if that was the last chance for the Rams if they lost the ball. However, they still have it, and this is their last chance. They have 1 minute and 1 second to drive 70 or 69 yards and put this one in the end zone. Miller is under center. He drops back for a pass, pump fakes. He's going to go forward and throws it, and a flag will be thrown, though, for an illegal forward pass.
Flag on the play.
Alex Miller trying to escape the pressure, ran up the field and forgot where the line of scrimmage was and wasn't able to, and forgot that he couldn't throw it past it.
Robinson penalty, legal forward pass.
That will back them up. I believe that's a 5-yard penalty. You don't see too many of those. It is a loss of down penalty, though, similar to that of an intentional grounding. So it will be 2nd and 15, 53 seconds left to go. Miller under center, dropping back once again. He puts it up, this time for Matt Oakley, and he overthrows everybody. Robinson is down to their final 2 potential snaps. It is 3rd down and 14 for the Rams with 46 seconds left to go in the game. No question about it, it is 4-down territory, and a timeout is called, and it was taken by West Springfield. Starting to get into the desperation mode for the Robinson Rams, a game that has been fought very hard by both teams. A good game by both teams and a good game to start the season, but there can only have one winner. And right now, the winner, if the game was to stop right now, would be the Spartans. However, there is still 46 seconds and 2 downs to play with for your Robinson Rams. Scott Vossler has to devise up a play.
Burke Sporting Goods, proud sponsor of Spartan football. Varsity winners Zach
To get at least 14 yards
Goods, a proud sponsor of West Springfield.
in the next 2 plays. 2 out wide to the left and 1 out wide to the right. 1 back. It's Miller under center. He drops back, looking to his left. Goes forward, and he is taken down. And he stays up, and this is going to run the clock down farther and farther. And this is the last chance for the Rams to make a stand in this game. Stoppage of time. Timeout was called. It was taken by the Spartans.
Timeout is called on the field. West Springfield timeout.
Rams are now down to 1 play with 15 seconds left to go. Crazier things have happened in the sport of football.
I mean, the Spartans have done it here tonight. 95-yard touchdown pass. So it's definitely not out of this world impossible for the Robinson Rams to get the first down here and maybe even possibly push further into Spartans territory off of 1 play. It's just all in their hands at this point.
Rams have control over their own fate right now in this game. The clock will resume now. Running clock. And the ball is thrown. And they're going to and the ball and it was picked up. And time will stop. There was a good lateral pass. They have to clock it. There's only 8 seconds left on it. Clock does stop with the moving of the chains.
What a lateral pass to get the first down there.
And that took off several seconds. That somehow managed to take off 4 or 5 seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 4 seconds, 55 yards. 1 prayer. Miller takes the snap. He's back. He heaves it downfield. And it's intercepted. Flag on the play. There is a flag on the play.
Penalty flag on the play.
If this is a pass interference, then it would result in another play with 0 seconds left on the clock, and the Rams would have another chance. And that appears to be exactly what it is.
Play. The game cannot end on a defensive penalty.
The game cannot end on a defensive penalty. Pass interference on West Springfield. Ball will be moved 15 yards. Ball will now be placed on the West Springfield 45-yard line. Miller receiving the call from Vossler, telling his team final words as they break the huddle. 2 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. Miller's back in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He drops back. He heaves it up the field. He has a man open and he overthrows him. He overthrows Dejan Lee. And that will be the end of the ball game. Dejan Lee was open. He had every, pardon me. If that ball was placed just a little bit softer and with not as much force, we might actually have. You might have had to do CPR on me because I would have been done. Like, you would have had to push my chest and got a defibrillator. It would have been done. That would have been bad. I would have probably died of a heart attack. That was definitely a close end of the game. Fantastic job from both teams. Rams will finish the game with a record, of 0 wins and 1 loss. Ryan, tell me about the game. What did you like and what did you dislike?
Just liked what I saw. It's a solid opening game for the Rams. They were in this. Obviously, a loss is never what you want to do or start your season off with a loss, but I think they're going to bounce back from this, and I love to see what they bring to the table next week.
Heartbreaker here at West Springfield to open up the season for the Robinson Rams. Final score, Spartans 35, Rams 28. Ladies and gentlemen, for Ryan Keith, Ryan Good, I'm Shaun Salehi. We'll see you next week at home against WT Woodson.